Thank you for staying with us. We'll now link up with Eshomo Moimodu and TJ Suadewi in our Abuja studio for FCT Brief. Good morning, guys. It's over to you now.
Good morning, Veronica, and welcome back to the breakfast show this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Veronica, and good morning, colleagues. It's nice to have you here for today's discussion.
Yeah.
Now, and TJ, just before we go to what we have for our viewers, primary schools in Abuja, the federal capital, has been shut for over 2 months. That their teachers have not been paid. So the future of Nigeria, the little children, have been out of school.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we're discussing teachers being owed in 2025. We're talking about these are the people that we give the responsibility to shape the future of the children. And we say the children are the future of the nation. And they are being owed salaries. You know, when we set our children to go back to school and they are being sent back home because teachers are protesting that their salaries are being owed. I believe it's a full circle of confusion. This is something that should not be happening in this day and time. If the government is saying that, you know, they are increasing minimum wage, they are trying to improve, this is a critical sector that should not even have this kind of issue. And I believe that the government should look into this critically with the aim of resolving it and resolving it on time.
Yeah, that is the foundation of education. And if the foundation is destroyed, there is nothing you can build. And it's quite pathetic that we keep allowing our teachers to go through this circle where they say your reward is in heaven. Now, whoever is involved, whoever is responsible, should not be spared by the authority. Whoever, there is no excuse whatsoever for teachers, especially of primary school, to be owed. And I think the appropriate authority should swing into action and make sure that this is resolved immediately.
2 months is quite a long time. A lot can be covered in 2 months, and the children have already lost 2 months. This should be resolved and resolved fast as possible.
Exactly. Now, let's give you what we have for you this morning. And good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on FCT Brief. As Nigeria gradually approaches the 2027 general elections, the political landscape is already heating up. The Real All Progressives Congress APC is strengthening its internal structures and fine-tuning strategies ahead of the polls, while a new coalition of opposition figures is making bold moves, formally applying to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for recognition as a political party. With less than 2 years to Nigeria's next general elections, political activities are beginning to take center stage. The All Progressives Congress, Nigeria's ruling party, is already holding high-level consultations, reconciliation meetings, and strategic engagements.
Sources within the party say the goal is to present a united front, mobilize grassroots support, and retain power come 2027. Across the political aisle, a new coalition of opposition politicians under the banner of the All Democratic Alliance has submitted an application to INEC seeking official registration as a political party. The coalition leadership emphasized its commitment to credible leadership, youth participation, and economic transformation. As the build-up to 2027 continues, Nigerians can expect more political maneuvers, alignments, and declarations in the months ahead. And to help us align these contexts in proper perspectives, we have joining us in the studio the APC National Vice Chairman, Northeast, Dr. Mustapha Salihu. It's good to have you in our studio this morning.
Nice to have you here.
Dr. Salihu. Well, there's a wave of defection into the APC lately, but there's also concerns that, you know, we're beginning to see cracks within the party, especially with the jostling for positions ahead of 2027. How is the APC handling this to ensure that these internal cracks do not deepen?
Thank you very much. I want to start by saying that, you know, power is never a a la carte. That people always jostle for power wherever power is situated. And political parties are just like federations. Everybody will come and try to get what he thinks he deserves. And in the process, there will be certain disagreements. But the party like APC, which is the largest party and the smartest party in black and white Africa, we have mechanisms for taking care of this possible jostling with regards to positions and what have you. Because the main tenet here is for you to be fair. Once you are fair, people will see through it and see that, okay, yeah, if I did not get this, I'll get other thing. Because the party itself is like a slaughterhouse. Everybody is coming for different things. Somebody is coming for gomo, that person is coming for liver, that person is coming for meat. So everybody is coming for one thing or the other. And because there are a lot on the table, and with the leadership we have now, the New Hope agenda and also which align with the party manifesto, we are enlarging the pie. So instead of us to begin to fight on very highly scarce resources and positions, we are enlarging the pie. If you are not going to get position, you go into businesses. There are a lot of startups, support and what have you. So I want to believe the pie is being enlarged enough, and these jocelyn's will die down gradually because people will be getting what they deserve politically. Okay,
I took note of one particular thing you said, that the largest party in Africa, and I remember also the PDP. Not
only the largest, also the smartest.
The smartest, okay, like according to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I also remember that sometime in the past, the PDP claimed to be the largest party.
Not smart.
Okay, the largest party in Africa. But over time, you can see what is of the PDP. And I'm saying this to ask you that, is it not spark of overconfidence? Just hold on, overconfidence that your party is the largest, the smartest, and you have this gale of defections into your party. How do you intend, because people have predicted an implosion in the PDP, in the APC, and especially because ADA is emerging. They've talked about an implosion. So how is your party reacting to this possible implosion and the emergence of the ADA?
I want to respond to this using historical analysis. You remember the way APC was formed. Various political parties came together, and aside that, a chunk of the ruling party moved and formed the APC. I think there were 5 strong governors, including governors of Rivers, with all the resources, governors of Kano, Adamawa, and other states that moved into APC, to form APC. Aswaju, with the entire Southwest Bloc, came. Buhari came with the Northern Bloc, who at that time were saying he was guaranteed 12 million votes, that every time he contested, whether with whatever party he contested with, he comes with 11, 12 million votes. Because these are people that follows him with religious tenacity across the northern parts and other parts of the country. That was the measure that took over and wrestled power out of the hands of PDP. And look at the conditions that were present at that time. Greater percentage of the Northeast was a caliphate, including my village. Yes. Boko Haram flags were hosted. They are there, they establish their defense, they establish their government. Not the situation of hit and run that is present now. A lot of issues of actions, bad actions, and bad decisions, and also omissions were prevalent. And certain group, as strong as the one I counted, were in one side. But as it is now, sir, there is no balance of terror if you look at the coalition. There's no, all these people you are talking about, none of them is a political party in the first place. So, as such, there's no structure on ground.
PDP?
PDP is a political party, but it's not in the coalition. It's one opposition on one side. We are talking about coalition now. Before we come back to PDP. Coalition now, none of them is a political party. They are all individuals. And these individuals were all with us before, some of them. And if you look at the coalition now, you know this is not a policy-seeking coalition because there are people of radically different ideologies.
So it's a distraction.
It's not just a distraction, but it's a power-seeking coalition. And Nigerians are seeing through it. If me and you, we have, for example, now we are all communists. We have communist idea, we are all Marxists. Then we are coming together to advance socialist system of welfareism state or what have you. People will say, okay, these people can work together. But this coalition I'm seeing, because they have radically divergent ideas.
Even in APC, do they have an ideology?
Yes, we have an ideology. We are progressives. We are progressive. That's why you see whenever conflict comes, we sit on the table, and if some people came in not as progressive, but because we have leadership and defined leadership in the person of the president, Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you can see that he steps in virtually in all conflicts. He call you to the table and he sits with you. But these people, there is no established chain of command. As it is now, you can see there's already crisis. Babachir David Lawal, the former SGF, has come out and said that there's no need for new party. That new party will not work. That they have to get a party with a structure to build on.
All right. One major rumor shaking things up is the talk of about possibly dropping the Vice President Shatima from the 2027 ticket. That's a big deal, yet the APC has remained silent about this. Why is the party avoiding this conversation?
No, because the conversation is not yet on the table.
Why so?
I feel like beginning to discuss. Now it's time for governance. We have a lot of things. We are not yet there.
But we've seen open endorsement for the president himself. Why isn't that also shared on the vice president? Are they considering another choice?
I don't think so, because I want to believe the possibility of thinking of another choice or not is above my pay grade. It's not something that I would know right now. But if I want to analyze this using what I see, I think basically even the God we worship likes being appreciated. Once he gives you something, he wants you to appreciate it. What he gave you, then you ask for more. Mm-hmm. So as a party, we think Aswaji is making us proud. He has done a couple of things that we think is good, policy-wise, security-wise, and economic-wise. So, like bold steps he took from day one, removing the subsidy, local government autonomy, all these things. So we feel, okay, this man has given us so much.
You should appreciate him.
Let's appreciate him and ask for more.
Okay, let me quickly,
that's what we did.
Okay, let me quickly come in with this, appreciating him. Now, the campaign season, we've not entered the campaign season.
Yes.
And when people begin to talk about endorsements, sometimes it's like too early in the game. I read the statement from something that one of the spokespersons of the president said, that the president has not even been formally endorsed by his party, so that he cannot even talk about the running mate. Then my question is, why is your party not sanctioning people that are talking about endorsement at this time? Because it's unnecessary distraction.
So I want to believe there are two things here involved. The party at the summit in Abuja here, that's the National Working Committee, who is now taking the position of NEC and also taking the position of National Convention in between NEC meetings and in between convention. For now is the apex body of the party, and has come out during the summit and said that we are endorsing Aswaji for second term. Also, the caucus of the National Assembly, so is the forum of the progressive governors. So these are like the conventional bodies that makes up the party. There's nobody that will tell you when you say this is governors here, National Assembly, and the party is served in the middle. So I think everybody has spoken in the party. We are saying that come 2027, God willing, Aswaji is going to be our sole candidate.
All right.
This is taken. So the matter of sanctioning people, we are in participatory democracy. People can voice that. If sometimes it's instinctive. You don't plan it. Maybe something you just feel good about something and just come out and say, okay, let's endorse the president. So I don't think it's something wrong if you endorse the president, because already the caucuses and the party have done that. So
actually, I asked that because of the calls by people saying, why are you not endorsing the running mate? It wouldn't have been necessary to talk about that if an endorsement didn't come up. But let me quickly go to another issue, talking about the ADA, the All Democratic Alliance. that is emerging. Now, you have said that they don't seem to have a focus. But an alliance, if it goes through and it is registered, it's going to be a huge headache to your party, don't you think so?
See, you see, we are talking about democracy here. So people, the minority or anybody have right to aspire for something. You can aspire for anything. But if you analyze this logically, as I said earlier, these entities that are coming together are individuals. I didn't see any party, like maybe a big party with another big party coming together, or let's say a second force and the third force coming together. No. They're just a group of disgruntled individuals whom Nigerians know very well. You know, the thing is that you see what you see on social media. So most of the times it's not a reflection of what the real Nigerians think about. The real Nigerians that actually vote, most of them are not even on social media. Even their own, they don't talk.
Well, you're talking about disgruntled individuals forming this coalition. We hear whispers that some big wigs in the APC are about to dump the party as well, because maybe they feel disgruntled and sidelined, and maybe they have other places they are seeking their political future. Isn't the party worried about this, or better still, is the party doing anything possible to stop this from happening?
Well, it's good to say rumors. People talk. Rumors are all over the place, but from the girl of the fiction you are seeing, I don't want to believe any right-thinking politician who have the interests of his people behind him will now want to leave the Ark of Noah, like the winning team, and you go and join. Because let me tell you, as politicians, I always remind us that we have three responsibilities. First, we have responsibility to God, we worship. Second, we have responsibilities to ourselves and our family. And third, we have responsibilities to the people that follow us. So you cannot just take your people that invested in you financially, emotionally, and take them from where the future is certain to a place that nobody knows what is going. It's highly suicidal to me. If I look at it. So, and I've not heard any serious politician trying to decamp. Yes, people who have genuine grievances within a party, this is normal. Even within households, between husband and wife, children and father and mother, there is this disagreement. But what is important is the mechanism in place to settle all these, and which we have robust platform to settle all these grievances. You see, there's no grievance that stayed more than 72 hours within APC, because we have the leadership at various layers. In the states, there are governors. When it comes up there's the National Working Committee and Advisory Council. If it's above all of us, then the president steps in and settles all this.
Okay. Let's look at governance a bit from your own zone that you represent. How involved are your governors? Because most times you hear what the president is doing, what the federal government is doing, and you seem not to hear much about what the governors are doing. And politics is local.
Yes.
So how is your party mobilizing these governors and even the new governors that are coming into your party to ensure that they deliver on the dividends of democracy to Nigerians?
Well, let me start with the APC governors. We have 3 APC governors in the Northeast, and you can testify to it because I see a lot of their programs on your platform. You can testify to it that they are both working. Despite all the challenges in Borno, you can see the guy works like round the clock, try to deliver the vision of democracy. The same thing with Yobe. These are places that have challenge of Boko Haram and what have you, but you see projects being commissioned every day, and they are trying to get to the grassroots. And in fact, for Yobe, I don't think even IDPs, they don't have IDP camps. There are very few, maybe 1 or 2. They try to resettle their people, given the fact that wherever any security agents are able to clear all these places, they resettle their people. And this is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of resources. But they are doing it, and they are also building a lot of this. You can see the schools, state-of-the-art schools in Borno, when you are passing the road, you see them, you think you are in Lagos or Port Harcourt or other places. So these governors are working. The same thing in Gombe. If you see, we just had our summit at the International Conference Center. I've not seen a facility like this in the north. It's huge. It's huge. And a lot of road constructions going on, agricultural empowerment, a lot of things. So these three governors, they are doing their utmost best to bring the dividend of democracy to the grassroots. You understand? These are the ones I will know. Well, the other three PDP governors, I will not say much because I don't know what they are doing, if they are doing anything or not. But by and large, the governors need to do more.
All right.
Given the fact that in our next meeting, Aswaju Bola meeting with the president said, now we are getting triple or double what you normally get. Okay. So let it show that the trickle-down effect should be very enormous and visible.
Very well said, which will lead me to my next question. Let's come down to the federal level. Opposition parties are beginning to capitalize on the public frustration, saying the economic reforms of the APC are causing hardship. And the APC, on the other hand, is saying these policies are already producing results. But truthfully, do you understand the pains of Nigerians and say their feelings, compare the feelings to what people are saying? You say that it's producing results. They say they are not feeling any results rather than frustration. How do you now compare the two?
Yes, because first of all, it's not worthy that we are not, as a country, we are not operating or living in isolation. We are part of the global economy. This we should know first. And inflation is global today. If you go to UK, you go to developed world, you see, inflation is global. So, in fact, we are even managing our own better than most of the developed countries. This is number one. So people should know this because it's not everybody that is opportune to travel. If you just go to Ghana, and see, take $100, spend it here, take under $100, go to Ghana and see if you can. You get 30% of what you got in Nigeria. I just did. So this is number one. And also, people should understand that change anywhere, change is ubiquitous. It always comes with a Janus face. It's highly ambivalent. You understand? It will come with unintended consequences and intended consequences. But whenever the intended consequences overshadow the unintended consequences, then it's a good change. So the policies the government comes with, the New Hope agenda comes with, they are coming with some consequences which are actually causing some degree of hardship to Nigerians. But it's a process. Yeah. This is something that we have to do. If we did not do this, Nigeria will be insolvent. Okay. Imagine we did not remove subsidy. Just imagine. Sit and imagine.
From what you're saying,
how can we pay this subsidy now?
Well, from what you're saying, it seems like there's a communication gap between the government and the people because, the policies, or would I say the benefits that come from these policies are not being properly communicated to the people, and that's why they don't understand what is going on. How is the APC planning to fix this communication gap and restore public trust? We have
the avenues. We have the Ministry of Information. We have the National Research Agency.
We rarely hear from the Ministry of Information.
We have the party. Well, if you say so, but I think they are also doing their best. But there's room for improvement. Okay. And also, when you're talking to Nigerians, it's not easy. It's not easy. As a country, we have these subcultural inhibitors. You understand? Because the social cleavages in this country, they are so divergent that for you to get across to a cluster, it's very hard. So I think maybe this is something we need to look at as a party, and also we will now maybe have some sit down with the Ministry of Information and National Research Agency to see how we reach these clusters. The kind of information you put out to the youths, and they understand you. It's different from what you do to the village, the farmers. It's also a different kind of information you give to the elites. So I think we have to be able to compartment this information, because if you just give a generalized information like this, some clusters will understand, while the larger clusters will not understand.
Okay, Dr. Salihu, let me quickly come with this. Something that can resonate very well with your own zone, talking about the North. Agriculture is an economic capital to the North.
Yes.
But some observers will say that the North is not properly taking advantage of the strength of agriculture, in the sense that a deal mainly on primary production. Why is it difficult to move to secondary production where you begin to capitalize processing?
I agree with you. We need to do more with regards agri-mechanization generally, because now people are farming for subsistence and it don't take the country or the region anywhere. We need to mechanize, and this is the part that I want the government to also improve funding on, and also the state government should do that. I used to just sit down and imagine. I want to believe every local government, out of these 774 local governments, every local government, they have one kind of crop, either cash crop or just any kind of crop that is very prevalent in their area, that they raise in that area. If it's apple, if it's granite, you understand? They need to have, the local government itself need to have a processing plan. Because we know, what they call it, the business community will not want to come and invest in startups.
So can you push that to be a northern agenda?
Yes, we should. I think we should. We should. I think we should. We should have, because every local government should, if you are producing tomatoes, you should have a tomato processing industry, so that you'll be buying, be buying off the farmers and be processing it. If you are doing onions, you have to have that. I think KB have started with rice. As a state government, you see, and you see how they go. Lagos is doing something similar. So other states should do that, and you should cascade it down, not only state, down to the local government. Now that we are pushing for this implementation of the autonomy of local government, when it's properly implemented, these are part of the things we should look at, especially in the north. If you have granite, you have granite very common in your area, make sure that you have a granite processing industry where you can process it for even export.
All right.
At the local government level, then you'll be able to support the farmers to mechanize.
As we wind down this conversation, how confident is your party that it will hold on to power come 2027?
The party is very confident and highly optimistic, not just because of any bubble, or because of the facts on ground. Politics are all about numbers. These indices are there. You cannot just build something on top of nothing. We have the foundation, we have structures, understand, and people are coming every day. You saw the reception we had in Akwa Ibom. This thing cannot be superficial. It cannot be fake. Yes, it can't be fake, because people came out, over 100,000 people came. Willingly. People are still trying to get there. Some with uniform, some without uniforms. They are just trying to get there to see their governor move.
You know something about Nigerian rallies?
And what have you?
Political rallies in Nigeria.
The
same set of people will go to the
No,
next
you can see the difference between superficial rallies and real rallies, because you see how long we stayed in that stadium. If it were superficial rallies, that stadium would be empty before we finish. So we politicians, we know rented crowd, we know real crowd, and you can see a governor moving with the entire structure. So if something happens in Delta, you understand? See, let me tell you, it's structures that win election. If you don't have structure, you saw what happened with the Labour Party last election. They had all the hype. But you come there, they don't have agents. We have how many polling units in this country? I don't know. The number is enormous. So if you don't have structure at the ward, and there's no amount of money you used to say you build a structure within months, it won't work.
Okay. All right. Mr. Salihu, Mustapha, it was a pleasure speaking with you this morning, and you shedding light on, the issues of the APC and other salient matters. I want to say thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Well, that's where we'll leave the conversation this morning. We hope that you enjoyed it. We'll now hand you over to our Lagos studio where Veronica and the rest of the crew are standing